Hello everyone, T-Man978. Welcome to another chill review. This time it's going to be Transformers Masterpiece Movie Series, Transformers Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, who is MPM number 12. This is Optimus Prime, how he looked in the Bumblebee movie. Only in English. That's something rare, even though this is a joint effort between Takara, Tomy, and Hasbro. So, mostly Hasbro. And I'm going to get into that. This box is very small. That's something you'll notice right away when you find it in a store. Or when you get it shipped to you from Target, because I believe it's a Target exclusive. If you get it from Target, it's only $126. You get it from anywhere else, it's like $170, $180. And I was like, no way that thing could cost that much. I wanted it, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait for it to get to Target. Thank goodness I did that. I also had coupons with my Target Circle, so I paid cheaper than what it cost. Thank goodness. Like, to really let you see how he's crammed in there, he is just totally, his body, there's like no extra space. They were saving as much money as possible on getting this to us, because these things have been crazy expensive and going straight to clearance. But here is Prime right here, and here is Prime with a little bit more light. Let's go straight up to Optimus's face. Pretty movie accurate. You see his eyes? Get used to not seeing them, because if you don't have direct light behind them, they are pretty dead. They went with a really dark blue. I don't know why they did that. They should have just painted it like they do with their studio series. But let's rotate this. And this plastic they use right here is pliable. Like more pliable than the normal Optimus Prime antenna. There's that. Now onto the rest of his body. The legs are lovingly sculpted to look more like the movie. Here's the bottom of the feet. Several different shades of plastics and whatnot. The legs have like some rusty looking gunmetal-y paint on them. He has it on the crotch. You got the details in there. I'll let you see all this. Here's the details on the inner arms. You got the kibble back there. That's one thing that I thought was unattractive, but it's on the back and it sits flush, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. Some of the plastic that I don't think is painted, it looks painted like this. The arms look like it's die cast, even though it's not. And you have this detail here. And these details under there. And I like the way it looks when you can see through his chest. And here's this stuff up here. So, definitely, he looks good and looks like you remember him from the few seconds that he was in the daggone movie. So, that's why I wanted this thing, because it looks like that and it can transform as well. He has what I would assume would be his ion cannon, because that's always the name of his gun. He has an open barrel right there. You do get a different color in the plastic right here. You can take that out of his hand. It just plugs in like normal. And back here, the gun can fold like that. And you get two pegs. And you can actually port it. Where is it? Why am I not seeing the pegs? Actually, I'm wrong. There's the one peg right here. You can port that right there in his buttocks. And he does have a stand port right there. So you do have access to that. I don't have my blast effect accessories in this room, so here's this picture I took. You can put War for Cybertron Trilogy blast effects in his gun. Now that you've seen what he looks like, let's get into his articulation. The head. Now let me get into the basic articulation that you can do straight out of the box. The head can look down, can't look up at all. Rotate to about there before it starts getting hindered. And of course you can like tilt, rotate right there. There's more articulation, but I'm gonna get to it. The arm does this. It rocks forward and backwards a little bit right there. The arm goes out to the side. This comes out. It's spring loaded on this side. It goes back down. But on this side, you kind of got to push it yourself. You have bicep rotation. Extremely feels like you're going to break something tight on both sides. And that really fights you while transforming them. This joint is right here is technically double jointed, but really it only works down here for the elbow bend. That's fully extended, and now you can go up to here, and that's some nice ratchets. But about here, it stops ratcheting or stop having the teeth, and it can go up more than 90 degrees. The annoying thing about that elbow joint is so tight when you bend it back down, his whole arm bends, and then this joint bends. So it's like you gotta hold it with two hands just to move the arms down, which is a little frustrating. The wrists rotate, and the hand is on a mushroom peg. The wrist goes up and down like that due to transformation, which is not very much a good thing. You have to kind of turn his hand a little bit if you don't want that to droop down while he's holding his gun. These hands have to be the worst hands I've ever seen on an action figure that the suggested retail price is over $100. They open up like this. The only joint they have is right here. And they let you separate this for Lord knows what reason. This thumb is like that, which I guess is good for holding a gun. And like that. But as far as making a good looking fist, good look with that, because that thumb is at a weird angle. I despise the hands. Let me just say that. The waist rotates. You know, kind of looks weird from certain angles just because of how it turns all the way back there for the transformation. Like I said, I'm going to get back to certain things I don't show because they're really tricks and not real articulation. These can come forward. These can come out like that. So the legs can go all the way back and come 90 degrees forward. They can go 90 degrees outward. And you don't have thigh rotation, you have rotation above the knee, which isn't bad. Only 90 degrees of knee bend. I hate it. But yeah, there you are with that. The ankle does a lot right there. And you can come forward a little bit and back a tiny bit. For the ankles, you have to really make sure that this joint right here is not bent. If it's bent in any way, it will really hinder you. So you got to make sure that this is completely straight down like that, so you can get any type of forward and backwards and the ankle pivot, to be honest. And now that with that out the way, here is some fake articulation. Because of the transformation, or maybe they designed it like this on purpose, you can kind of get a tiny taste of ab crunch. And I do mean a tiny taste. So you can say that he has ab crunch, but it does detach this from his butt. And that weak head movement I was talking about, you have to detach his back. And now this panel that for the transformation can make him look down even more, and he can look up. But now you have all that showing. So I mean, you could use it for pictures, whatever, leaning him forward and looking up, and it's not too much of a problem. And when you do free that up, you get another rotation right here due to transformation. So that's up to you on how crazy you want him to look. One more accessory he comes with is the matrix of leadership. These shift forward due to transformation, but it also opens up right here. And you have the matrix chamber. This actually just falls out. It's heavy, made out of die cast, hollow on one side, fully well painted in the center at least. And you see that right there, that's what keeps it into his chest. If you want to, they designed his arms in such a way where you can get the hands like this, and he can actually hold his own chest open. So they really put effort into making sure he could do that, because not a lot of Optimuses can do that. He can do that with both hands. And another reason he has these weird hands that aren't shaped correctly, because look at all that plastic right there. That's an offset knuckle on the pinky and index finger. But because they're so small, you can fit it inside of the matrix, and you can possibly attempt to light our darkest hour. And just checking, I am able to put a 5mm peg inside of that hole, so it should be blast effects compatible, and you can light our darkest hour if you put some blast effects in there. Here's Optimus in his 3 main movie looks. Of course, this was the first few Michael Bay movies, The Age of Extinction and the 5th movie. That's Unique Toys Challenger, by the way, and this is MPM either 03 or 04, I can't remember, Optimus Prime. So yeah, they are pretty much in line with each other, except he's a little bit taller, which I think they did on purpose. They made these figures have elongated bodies so that they could be taller. There's a Gigapower dinosaur, and I think this is a Generation Toy Optimus Prime based on the IDW comics, like the first few comics. I think this was his robot mode and those when IDW first took over. So you can see it's about the same height. And without me like pausing and giving myself more to edit, here's MP-44. Pretty much the same height. And you can see where they got the little cartoony influence on this mode right there. So he's a little bit beefier, but MP-44 is way more complex than this. And I want to save a lot of my rant for the end, but let me just say this. These movie masterpiece figures, here's my main issue with them. Hasbro wants masterpiece, so they, I guess, made a compromise with Takara Tomy. Like, please at least let us have movie masterpiece at retail so we can get some money off of that. So what they did to make them a little bit cheaper is the engineering is somewhere in between a regular Generations figure and current day masterpiece. It's not full on current day masterpiece to me. This pretty much could have been an $80 Commander class, but since they slapped the masterpiece name on there, they can charge a lot more dollars than that. But to me, the quality of this is, it's like taking Commander class Jetfire and shrinking him down to a smaller size so you can get more paint and more detail on him. But as far as the engineering, it's around the same level to me. And it doesn't have that much diecast. He has some diecast in his legs because of the tanks that come out for the truck mode, and the diecast in the Matrix. But yeah, it's good quality plastic. Let me put that in there as well. But I just feel like it's overpriced to me, personally. And maybe I don't even have to rant anymore. I explained that. I explained everything that I'm talking about. And like, I definitely hate the hands. I'm not used to the hands like that on a current day figure that costs over $100. And the articulation, the way you have to compromise stuff in the neck and the fake ab crunch and not being able to bend more than 90 degrees in the knees, that's aggravating. But yeah, I can't complain too much because I let, as far as people say, I let Starscream MP, the latest Starscream, slide because he doesn't have a waist swivel. But he doesn't have a waist swivel, but he is crazy dynamic and way, like, pretty much more posable than that thing. And look at these hands. Can't complain about that. I love them. Before we end things, here is what we got during Generations. This is probably based upon some early form, or they decided to just do what they wanted to do to make him transform into a better looking truck. So the legs are not accurate at all, which is good for this guy in truck mode, horrible for this guy in truck mode. So let's get to this transformation. Transformation! I never know where to start, but I'm going to start on the arms. This panel opens up right there. And basically, we need to rotate the hands, keep the hands this way, put the thumb up like that, and now they can go inside of there. Same thing over there. Just basically lift the thumb up right here, and then they can go right to the back. Now I'm going to just get the arms out the way for now and go down to the legs. The legs, I'm going to push this or lift that out of there, then move that back. Lift this out of here, move that back. Open this up, open that up. Now we can take the shins off and rotate them on a mushroom peg like that. Leave it like this for now. Bring the wheels out. Bring the wheels out. Open these canister things on the side. Open that up. Lift these out. Straighten the legs so that they can get up a bit. Get up a bit. Now we can take these at the back of his calves. Push that forward. The feet. Feet can come in like this. Then you have to, after you get it in like that, rotate this like that. We're going to move the wheels out the way, but lift the foot up and make sure that this right here is flat like that. So I'm going to bend this in, rotate this, trying to get basically that flat while moving this up here. Now we can actually plug the legs and feet together, which also plug the bumper together. And the wheels need to spin back like this, push that in, and then they peg in right there. Very satisfactory. I've had other Optimus Primes that do not plug in satisfactory with a transformation like this. We're going to leave this up and basically leave this like this. Wait. Bend the knees a little bit so that can go up like that. But we're going to, you know what? I think I can do that now. There's two pegs right here that goes into two holes right there. So shove that on, and they stay on there tough, to be honest. Peg that on both sides, and then we can lift these up right here. Now the upper body, you need to detach the back like that. Detach this, and now we can rotate this around, which always seems easier said than done. It gets caught up on that. Alright, admittedly I made that look confusing. This is still his gut, and this is the front of his body, as far as the legs are concerned. You don't really need to rotate this section. It's only this part that needs to rotate backward so that this can come together right here. Now, with this out of the way, he has that little ab crunch joint right there that can come forward. But you need to bend, before we can go all the way forward, we need to bend this down, which does peg into place well and feels like you're gonna break it. This hinge right here is bent back. We need to actually bring that kind of forward on both sides so that we can get this up. And this little notch right there goes into a little hole in the top of his, what used to be his crotch. These can come down. Actually, this whole butt panel can come down and go into place. And now the wheels need to come down and forward like that, because they go into a little groove in the front of this. Bring that forward and come down. The chest slides forward and we can push this up like that. Back here, we can rotate the head back. This panel right here comes out and goes into place right there, and this comes down like this. This paint right here seems to be very easy to chip because I have some paint coming off right there, so definitely be careful with this. This seems to be all transparent. This seems to be all transparent plastic. Let me just make sure I'm zoomed out. This is going to keep moving, so don't worry about that too much. Now these arms, boy. We need to lift this panel up a little bit, bring that out, and we need to rotate these biceps around like this. Getting the I've transformed this a few times. I cannot get the biceps fit in a way that I am happy with to get under here, but basically we need to do the typical Optimus Prime transformation thing and get the bicep under here. You know what, let me rotate it like this. Yeah, that seems to be the best way to do this. But basically get things angled in such a way whereas there's a little peg right there that goes into the side of this right here. Get that into place, then we can bring this down, bring that into place, bring this down, get that ready to go. We can clip these in later after I get this side. So we're rotating the bicep this way. So that everything is like this right here. Then we're going to be bending that so that we can get this into place. Okay. I'm going to bring this down, flip that into place on his arm. Bring this down. Now with this down, we can clip a peg that's right there and a peg that's right here onto the front of the truck on both sides. Okay, we're good to go there. Now up here, make sure all this stuff is still where that needs to be, which is looking like it's not. These two panels right here need to overlap each other. Now this stuff on his shoulder can elongate until it's in its position. Right there. Elongate this until it's in its position. These basically don't do anything. That's the only transformation you can do. And we can rotate these smokestacks this way. And now this rotates up like this. It pegs into place right there. These come forward, and this is difficult too. Not too difficult. They need to come up under here and meet this groove right here. There we go. And now he's a truck, but he's angled wrong. Or at least it looked like it. No, the wheels are rolling fairly decently. But here he is as a truck. If you expect me to go through a whole big comparison, comparing all those Optimuses that I just showed in truck mode, you thought wrong. But here it is. You can see that this white right here is dingy in the front, but this is clean. You can still kind of see that robot detail back behind the window. You can still see his shoulder detail right here because they didn't make that transform for some crazy reason. No, yeah, they do peg onto this. And here is an unclean trailer hitch. And that. If you want to see what the Studio Series 1 looks like, the Voyager class, you're going to have to look at my review. I do not feel like learning how to transform that. But I do have a comparison. I do have MP-10 right here. Roughly the same size, but he sits a little bit higher. There's this. And I haven't tried this yet, but apparently you can carry MP-44's trailer. This isn't MP-10, it's MP-44. Oh, yeah, I see it. I guess this just grooves into that slot between his feet. Yeah, it should be wide enough. There we go. And now he can carry MP-44's trailer and kind of turn. Let me move these niche things out the way. Yeah, now I can turn pretty much all the way. So that's awesome. That's cool. That's an option. I wish they, like I said, if this was a more premium, like real full on Takara Tomy only masterpiece, they would have went the extra mile with these legs and had this like fold up inside of there to look better. I don't know why. I guess that would have made the budget a little bit too much to make that fold away some type of way better. But let me show his last vehicle mode gimmick, official gimmick, because that trailer thing is just an Easter egg. It's not even in the instructions. If you take his gun, and here's where you actually use the T-pegs. You can peg this right there. But I don't know. It seems to always lean, and I feel like I might be breaking. There we go. I got it. I actually finally got it. You have to bend right here at the hips. The hips are kind of tight. I finally got that straight. But now it's not rolling, so maybe I didn't. His crotch is dragging. I don't know. I watched Sony from TM Reviews. TM Reviews mostly reviews Transformers Masterpiece. He does review retail stuff when he can. But he pretty much had this stored like down like that. But that fills in that hole and gives you less to look at. But they could have come up with a transformation that fully enclosed that, but it is sitting there, so that's cool too. And I do have another comparison. Here is the Dark of the Moon remold or retool of Optimus Prime, the leader class version. So if all you have is the leader class Optimus, you have some idea of how big this thing is. And it, like I said, it turns out to be even smaller. And I think this guy is bigger than Movie Masterpiece, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty much the same amount of engineering, but the Movie Masterpiece cleaned it up because it didn't have batteries and whatnot. But yeah. So my final thoughts on this truck mode is kind of a wreck. It looks good from the front mostly, but these legs could have been better. I wish they did something with these shins. If all they had to do was find a way to make the shins transform better, because tractor trailers do have like long backs sometimes, and on the movie his was long, but the more you stare, it kind of seems unfinished, being able to just clear as day see his legs. So I don't like that. But my overall thoughts on this whole purchase: this is a high quality Transformer as far as the plastic. The plastic does not feel cheap. I don't think anything on this feels cheap, but as far as the engineering is my only problem. When I pay over $100 on the Transformer, I expect it to be super duper dynamic. It is posable and it does look nice, so don't get me wrong there, but it isn't as dynamic as I would want for something that has a simple transformation like this. I'm happy that I didn't do something dumb and buy this off of TF Source or somewhere else that shoots prices way sky high, but in their defense, they're probably ordering these from Target and they're trying to make their money off of that, because these are Target exclusive. So I would definitely go to Target right now if you want one and get it. And if you have some Target Circle discounts and whatnot, definitely get that on there. So I was super happy that I pretty much paid like $10 more than I paid for the original Movie Masterpiece Optimus, and that thing came out a while ago. So yeah, my final review is it's worth the purchase if you really want this. If you want a transforming Movie Masterpiece Optimus and you don't want to pay a whole crazy amount of money for like a third-party version or whatnot. Anywho, thank you for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click the